All right, everyone, it is Flex Friday today on PrizePicks. We also are getting a protected play on Sleeper, and we also are getting a discount on Underdog. So I'm going to be breaking down all the best prop bets to go with a lot of those bets that we are getting. So I want to start with Juan Soto for over fantasy score, but also I want to talk about Aaron Judge for over his fantasy score as well. Those are two pretty good bets that we are getting for edges today, fantasy score wise. And so this is a tool that I've been working on yesterday, today. Hope to have it live maybe tomorrow on Sunday, but I am still able to use it. I just need to make it like forward facing for you guys. But looking at it right now, Juan Soto and Aaron Judge, I like the prop line difference that we're getting between PrizePicks and Underdog. Now, yes, there is a slight different line there between Underdog and PrizePicks. Have to do a slight adjustment for that. Still, we can see that we are getting a decent edge. We look at the average sportsbook line for Soto. They're giving that line a 7.4, but they are favoring the over there. Projection data likes them at about 8, and then Aaron Judge basically going to be the exact same thing. So those are two prop bets that I do think make for a great starting point today. Not the biggest edges that I would want, but at the same time, I feel like those are two pretty good starting points. Now, the issue that I have with that is that we would then probably have to bet the under in some regard for Christian Javier. Maybe we actually do the over earned runs allowed, but the data is not exactly backing that up. It actually kind of likes his over. So, if we're doing two Yankees props, we'd probably want to run out some sort of opposite thing, especially going against a pitcher like that. If these two players do get their over fantasy score, then Javier is probably not going to be able to get his over. So maybe we could do more earned runs. That's basically what we're saying. Now, could Soto get like a steal or something and get his over along with like a run and a hit? Sure. Could Aaron Judge just smash a home run in separate innings? Sure. Those could both happen to the point where Javier will not get his over, but I feel like those two correlate pretty heavily as well. And then just showing you guys the prop bets that are giving us the best edges fantasy score wise. If you guys want to run these out there, you can. Kind of just more or less doing a wait and see approach on a lot of these. I am running these out personally, but did a slight update to what I was running last year to try to make it more similar to how I've been presenting data to you guys this year. So kind of just more or less testing it out right now. I will say one thing that does kind of stand out to me is George Kirby for under fantasy score, mostly because you could stack that with some of the hitters on the opposite side. But this is basically, and even Chris Bassett, these are basically just telling us that the data doesn't think that they're going to get their over fantasy score. So by all means, you could run out those two. I'm going to put those in there for now, but at the same time, I don't think we need to run those out. So just going to put those in there for now, just to show you guys that. But let's jump into some college basketball. College basketball wise, we are getting really one good prop bet still, and this is one that I mentioned a couple times. Anton Watson for over his fantasy score. He's been able to crush this thus far in March Madness. That's kind of my worry, is that he's been able to crush this over a lot lately in March Madness. You would almost assume that maybe that's why that line is still there. A little bit more difficult of a matchup going against Purdue as well. But we look at the data, that's telling us that is still one of the best prop bets that we are getting for college basketball today. And we are getting some other good EV bets. I mean, right now, 6.5 points here. That's probably going to be adjusted. One that's still there, and this is fascinating to me, is Stephen Ashworth for over his rebounds, 3.5. Like, this has been a good EV bet for us for like 4 days now, and they still haven't adjusted it. So I'm like, are they trying to trap us into this one? No, it's still probably a good bet. We can still probably use that. It's interesting that hasn't been bumped just yet. So just right now, this would be the slip that I would be looking at right now if you guys want to just include college basketball and MLB. But let's go ahead and jump on into some NBA as well. All right, so NBA wise, we are getting Jalen Suggs for over 22 for a fantasy score. That is seemingly decent. Miles Turner for over his fantasy score. Those are two pretty good prop bets that we are getting. I don't mind either. Corey Kispert's one that's been out there the whole day for under his fantasy score. He hasn't been able to hit that as well recently. Definitely happy to use all those. I think I like more running out this top correlated stack. I don't know if we need to exactly run out Bassett and George Kirby over, even though those two are popping up. So maybe we go ahead and get into maybe Suggs. Suggs, the biggest worry with him thus far this season, has been getting minutes. He has been getting minutes more recently. We can see the last two games just hasn't been playing well, though. Maybe that's one you guys don't want to run out. I'll show you guys Corey Kispert here as well. Corey Kispert is very much 3-ball dependent, as we know from 2 nights ago, where he went 2 for 8, costing us I think it was 5 for 5 slip. Kind of brutal there. No, I think it was a 6 for 6 and ended up going 5. Anyways, we hit a double up 2 days ago. If he just made one more 3, would have got the full cash. But he's very much dependent on that 3-ball. it wouldn't be surprising to see him have a good game against Detroit. That's not exactly one I feel like I need to be targeting tonight. But that's kind of it for the Flex Friday slip. I think I'll be running out this one, these 4 right here, as a flex slip. As you guys know, I kind of like to run 4 slip bets out there on Flex Friday. If you guys want to toss in some of those other ones I mentioned, by all means, go for that. Real quickly, let's jump into some sleeper props. So these 2 I'm going to be running out: Watson for over 2.5 assists, and then Proctor for under 11.5 rebounds. I'm going to be using that with the protected slip that we currently have. There are some other ones you could run out, but those are my 2 favorite ones right now, and I feel pretty good about those ones. So then we'll jump into Underdog as well. So what I think I'm going to be doing with Underdog today is that Ryan Clockbrenner for under fantasy score. That's one I feel pretty good about using with the free square that's available for Underdog. The question is whether or not I want to run out Zach Edey for under his fantasy score. We can see this is a 4-4 prop line difference. That is pretty massive. And so the average sportsbook line would be giving his fantasy score about 49, which is still pretty high, right? But we can kind of see the Underdog line is the clear outlier. The issue with Zach Edey is that he typically does get a lot of blocks. So that's the biggest hindrance there. But these 2 I will be running out to make a 3 slip bet with the free score that we are getting on Underdog. And so that'll do it for today's video, guys. Make sure to give a like and subscribe. Do appreciate that. Sorry for the late post. Just been working on that MLB tool. Want to get that out to you guys as quickly as possible. If you guys want access to the tools, though, head on over to 9to5sports.com. Available for $10 a month. Thanks for watching. As always, let's keep cashing.